The CCC was a New Deal program by FDR, President Roosevelt, and its purpose was really to take a generation of young men who were unemployed and whose future was rather dim and put them to work conserving natural resources, which were in dire need of work. So across the country, almost 3 million young men, 3.6 I believe is the exact number, participated in this program. And there were thousands of camps. But there were 4 in Letchworth Park, and that's the topic of the book. I think my interest in this civilian conservation course started back when I was a little kid, because my dad was in the CCCs. And on a family vacation when I was little, we stopped and he pointed down to where his camp was. And I could sense the pride in it. And that kind of planted the seed. But when I started working for Letchworth Park in 1978, and I worked there 4 seasons, 4 summers, in the history program, I discovered how much the CCC really meant and started to understand the significance of the program, not only to the park, but to the nation and the men who were involved in it. What I tried to do in the book is to present as complete a picture of the CCC in Letchworth as I could. So it actually starts out talking about a short history of the park to show how badly the CCC was needed when the Great Depression hit. It was in the midst of a great growth spurt. It had added from 1,000 acres to 6,000 to 8,000 acres. And all this needed to be developed. And of course, when the Depression hit, there was no money to do this. Then we talk about the camps and how they set up and the organization of the CCC. But the heart of the book is really the experience that the CCC boys, their motto was, "We can take it." And boy, they took a lot. The book also covers some other aspects, not just the work, but the psychological impacts on the boys. There was a wonderful educational component to the CCC camps, and many of them finished their high school education. Many of them took college courses. Many of them learned the skills that they used to build a future for them and later their families. And they also learned the discipline that they needed for life, and also the war was around the corner. And many of them was enlisted or were drafted into the Army, and they had a head start on Army life because the Army ran the camps and organized the camp aspect of it. I also bring out in the book the civilian aspect to it. There was a whole group of men called LEMs, local experienced men, who served as foremen and taught skills and worked with the CCC boys. And the pay that they got, of course, helped to support the families in the area. And also we should make note of how these camps helped the local communities. And I bring that out in the book. Not only bringing money into the communities in the weekends, buying supplies, but also when disasters such as fires and floods and snowstorms hit, it was the CCC boys who came to the rescue. They were the local first responders of the day. I think their greatest impact was the work that they accomplished in the 8 years that the camps operated. One of the park administration, park officials, said that for every year that the CCC did work in Letchworth, they accomplished 10 years of work that it would have taken the park to do. So they were able to lay the foundation to the modern parks and the things that many of the things that we enjoy today. The swimming pools, the trails, the campgrounds, the cabins. These all either had their roots in the CCC, or the CCC, for instance, accomplished so much that the park was able to go ahead with new projects later on, such as the swimming pools and the high banks recreation facilities. So they made the park visitor friendly. Okay? They made the park accessible to visitors, and we're still enjoying the work that they did. The trails, the cabins, the roads that you travel on, many of them were the results of the CCC.